Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to Quantum Touch Radio, supercharging your life with Jennifer Noel Taylor. Jennifer and Dr. Pat take you on a quantum journey to discover how to supercharge your life, working with universal healing quantum touch principles. Imagine knowing how to accelerate, revitalize, and engage in ways you've never experienced. In this hit show, we reveal powerful, simple steps to create more abundance, better health, emotional and mental vibrancy, and happier relationships. Imagine being simple and supercharged to cultivate life force energy for yourself and others. Get ready to be astounded. Now, here are your hosts.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We got a supercharged show for you. And yeah, this is absolutely something that I did not want any of you to miss out on. And so today, you all know that for many years in launching the network and the Dr. Pat Show, it has been about creating a better world, for sure. But it's also been about taking action to create a better world. Jennifer is here today. She is the host of Quantum Touch Radio. And as you've heard her talk about it before, she is engaged in the world, engaged in creating powerful, positive change. And today, a special project and mystery guest, Jennifer, take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Pat. So let me reveal the mystery guest. It's my boyfriend, Mac. We've been together 6 years, and I'm super excited to have him on the show because this is the first project he's done with our company, and it's a really special project. So I'd like to introduce Mac McMinn, and are you there?
I'm here. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank
Aloha.
you. Aloha. Yay. So, so this project came about because we went to Costa Rica on vacation. And our last day there, we ran into a woman. Her name's Bridget, and she was selling jewelry at a roadside stand. And I just got this, that little voice, right, Pat? That little voice, that intuitive message. And it said, we have to help her. And so Mac and I started brainstorming ways on how we can help her. And we got this idea. We sell jewelry on the Quantum Touch site. We sell pendants that we charge with energy. And we thought, well, she makes jewelry, so why not have her make some jewelry for us? Because, we later found out how much help she really needed. And I would like Mac to talk more about that because he actually funded this project, which is really amazing. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Mac, it's great to have you.
Thank you, and I appreciate the offer. And as Jennifer has shared, this is a very special project. It just came about. It was just magical. Jennifer and I had originally met Bridget, like Jennifer said, while she was buying to buy some jewelry, and we left and. It was actually Mother's Day down in Costa Rica, and Jennifer and I were leaving that day. And Jennifer had bought 2-3 pieces of jewelry, and we'd gone back to our rooms. And when Jennifer went into her room, there were some roses laying on the bed for Costa Rican Mother's Day. And we were getting ready to get on a plane, so we're sitting there, and these roses were just so beautiful. So we thought, okay, what can we do with these roses? So we decided to take them back down to Bridget at the beach. And when we got out of the car with the roses and Bridget saw them, she just started crying.
Mm.
I mean, it was just so warm to see the love in her eye. And so Jennifer and I left, and as we're driving to the airport, a 2-hour drive to the airport, Jennifer and I were brainstorming, and that's how this project started.
Mm. But don't you really, Jennifer, I'd like to ask you about this. So much can be born out of love and caring. So much can be brought forward. the energy of that takes on a life of its own. And then, of course, we are here to take action. I mean, don't you find it truly a blessing to be able to be at that place in your life, Jennifer, also as well, where now you're looking at something, you're able to reach out, bring the people together, and help other people. I've been accused of oversimplifying things like that, but boy, it is an energy and a life force all its own. It's a quantum energy.
Well, I mean, okay, so I just, when we met her, I felt this, like your heart just opens. How you feel like maybe when you hold a kitten, or when you look at somebody and just your heart just opens, and you know that you need to do something. And that's what I felt, and I think that's what Mac felt, is like we saw Bridget with the roses, and we're like, we got to do something here. And that's when we started brainstorming ways. And it turned out that they really needed some help. And Mac can describe more about what their situation was, and I'd love for Mac to describe what their situation was.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happens when we show up for humanity and help people that are in just horrific situations.
Dr. Pat, the interesting part of the story is Jennifer and I are, on planes flying back to Hawaii, and we don't even know this woman's name. I mean, we know nothing about her. And then after coming back, I actually got back on a plane and flew back down to Costa Rica, not even knowing, because it was the start of the slow season, not even knowing if I was going to be able to find her again. And flew down there, and it actually took about 2 days to find her. And then once there, and I met her family, they showed me where they lived. And, I mean, God loved these people. The children are always clean, but they live in a shack. The floors are dirt. There's no real kitchen to it. There's no doors. They use drapes to cover the entrances to the houses. There's no glass in the windows. There's no curtains. There's no screens to keep the bugs out. I actually saw a snake in their front yard. I mean, it's just horrific conditions, but these people are so loving that, their children are always clean. And I would like to add that this family not only they live in destitute conditions, they also have some huge medical issues. And I'd like to go over. Yeah. Emily, their 7-year-old daughter, has asthma that is so severe that she can't go into an air-conditioned building. When her parents go into a grocery store or a bank or any kind of building that has air conditioning, she actually stands outside and cups her hands around her eyes and watches them from the outside as they go inside of the store. It's just amazing. But she has just this great attitude. And even when it's summertime down there, she has to wear 2 shirts because she gets cold. Now, on top of all of this, the mother, Bridget, had an emergency gallbladder surgery about 8 months ago, and it went terribly bad, and she was down for about 2 months. And as she was recovering, she went to the store with their youngest daughter, and of all things, a drunk driver from a foreign country hit them while they were on their motorcycle. It cracked the baby's helmet completely in half. Thank God the baby appears to be okay, but unfortunately, Bridget was just scarred for life. She has just got scars all over her body from the result of this accident. And then, making matters worse, the drunk driver fled the country. So I've spent time with this family, and I've spent time in their living conditions, and I know a little bit about building. And these conditions are just horrific. often all they have to eat is beans. And it is just something that Jennifer and I had just opened our hearts, and Jennifer and I just decided that this is something that we needed to do. Mm. And that's where we are today.
Wow. I want to ask you both, what are some of the ideas that you had when this hit your heart, right? As it does so often to us. What was your thinking? And the reason I'm asking this is sometimes I just finished an interview with Julian Hyman, 97 years old, writes a book, You Can Save Our World. And he's talking about acts like you both are talking about here that you said yes to and are now stepping forward and did. And I don't find it, I find it a little mysterious that we're doing two shows like this, but Linda's brilliant at scheduling. I want to ask you, when this entered your heart, a lot of times people say, God, I feel I got to do something, but I don't know what to do. Can you talk a little bit about the next step process and then bring us up to date with where you are?
Okay. So, sorry, go ahead, Mac.
When we wanted to help, okay, and let's face it, there are people all over the world that need help.
Yeah.
And we can't help everyone. Mm-hmm. But Jennifer and I decided we can help this family. And that's, instead of spreading our hope around, we decided that we would help one individual family. We would try to set them up to where the children would be college educated, that they would succeed. Mm-hmm. And we would focus it on this one family. And I'll be honest, I did receive a little bit of criticism from a woman. She said, you should be helping everyone. And with talking with my brother, with talking with Jennifer, with talking with other people, we just decided that, you know what, these were the people that we were going to help. And that's when Jennifer and I put the hammer down and went full force on doing this. And I might add, we're not just going to help this family with this. I'm actually going to go back down there during the building process and during the helping of this family. And my intent is to go back down there and spend a month to make sure that everything is done right. I don't want any money drifted off to one side or the other. Everything that's earmarked is going to go where it should go. And I can assure you, I'm very good at making sure that kind of stuff is done.
You know, one of the things that I'm really struck by that I want to talk about, and Jennifer, you've talked a lot about this in the shows we've done on Quantum Touch. One of the things we talk about here from day one, when people basically said to me, look, this positive talk business, this is back in 2003, you're like out of your mind. Nobody wants to listen to positive talk. Nobody's going to tune in. We're going to give you 15 minutes and you're going to be out of here. And my response was, if one person listens and tells another person, if one person learns something to up-level their lives and goes out and helps another person, that creates a massive ripple effect. And so, you know, there are many stories about whether you can fish or you could teach somebody to fish. What you're doing, though, is you're not doing one thing to me. You're creating a role model that a family will look at, others will look at. And so maybe we're talking about one family, but if we all listening to this show could do one thing, we're not talking about one thing anymore, Jennifer, are we? We're talking about a ripple effect. We're talking about helping people help themselves to then help other people help themselves to then help other people. Aren't we talking about that?
Mm-hmm. And we're doing this with this family because we hired them to make jewelry for us, which gave them a job. And Mac, bless his heart, took a leap of faith, went back to Costa Rica not knowing where to find her, and found her and said, we have a job for you. And so we hired them to make 1,000 pieces of jewelry for us, you know, handmade, And they're on our store now called the Costa Rica Pendant. And that money is going to help the family. And that was the first thing that we did. And then the second thing that we're doing is the GoFundMe campaign, which is on the show page, because we're hoping that not only we can help the family with the project, with work, but also raise additional money to help them get into a home and help them get a car. And I believe the ripple effect is really a big part of helping others, because not only does the energy echo out into the universe, and it always like brings a higher, more positive vibe to the whole planet because of the butterfly effect. You know, the butterfly flaps its wings somewhere over here. It's been shown that it can affect the weather patterns on the entire planet. So I believe in that. But also, you know, for example, I am wearing this shirt today. I have this Be Kind shirt from the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah.
Because I really love, you know, when she helps other people, she'll surprise people with cars and helping, you know, people who are struggling. And her example, I know, goes out into the world, and other people get inspired and said, well, if she can do something, we can do something. Why not we all do something? And I think that really just, you know, there's so much bad news out there. There's like, we hear every day of another shooting or another war or another, you know, tragic death or something like that. Why not have, you know, what we're doing here, positive news? And so anyway, so we're wanting to do something positive, you know, for this family in a major way. And that's why we did what we did.
Yeah. I'm on the East Coast now, and I was born here, right? I was born in New York, lived in New Jersey most of my life, and came back for a number of events, high school reunion stuff, weddings, all of the above, visit a 97-year-old auntie. And also we have networks out here. So I like to go face to face. You know, Skype is great, but showing up in person, getting a great pizza, awesome. All of the above. There's nothing like doing that. I'm also acutely aware, and I mentioned this earlier, is that you're absolutely right. Every day here, I'm reminded of things that are happening in the world. The latest thing was the shooting in the synagogue here. And I'm reminded of that. And I always ask the question for us, can we do more? And then we do a show like today. And so there's a call to action that I would love for each of you to talk about. First of all, I love that folks are now employed. How can people find out about the jewelry? Is there a way for people to donate? Please tell us what you've created that's going to keep the momentum going here for folks.
Okay, so there's two ways you can help. One is on our quantumtouch.com webpage. We are selling the pendants, and they're charged with love. They're charged with energy. And they were handmade by the family, and they're on our shop. So if you go to our quantumtouch.com and click shop, you can order jewelry, and it's really reasonably priced. And like I said, Mac took an incredible leap of faith, funded the whole thing. And now, so the jewelry helps pay for that. And the other thing that we started as well as the GoFundMe page, which is also a link on the show page. And that's to raise money to buy them a house and to get them a car. And Mac has that incredible quality that if he says he's going to do something, it's going to get done. I mean, that's a really amazing, I couldn't believe that he went down to Costa Rica and got this done. He got the jewelry made. He found the family. He took a lot of footage of how they live. And he actually we ended up with 1,000 pieces of jewelry, actually 1,100 pieces of jewelry. And that's pretty amazing leap of faith. And so I hope that people can support the project either way, either the GoFundMe or purchasing jewelry or maybe both.
Yeah. Let me just ask a question here for a minute, Mac. Let me ask a question about the process for you, because I hear that you get an idea and you're like into action, right?
That is correct.
I want to ask you, what pleasantly surprised you most? And then what surprised you maybe not so pleasantly about the process? Basically, what did you learn?
You know, I'm sitting on the plane and I'm flying down to Costa Rica from Houston, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, how in the world am I going to get this done? You know, I've told Jennifer that I'm going to get this done, and so I'm thinking, how in the world am I going to get it done? And Jennifer's correct. When I focus on something, I focus. But when I focus on something, I also believe in it being correct. We know that in a lot of third world countries, a lot of corruption goes on. So in the back of my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, I want this done, but I want this money to go to the right person and to the right thing. Mm-hmm. So that was really and truly my biggest focus. So not only when I was down there trying to negotiate this jewelry deal, I'm also spending time with real estate agents and contractors, and I'm just trying to learn. I know how to build houses. I know how to do things, but I need to know how it's done down there. So I spent a week down there on how to get this done. I've actually been down there 3 times just for this one project. And Jennifer's correct. I have funded it, and but I think it is a great thing. And so, you know what I've learned is I just, when you see this family, and these little girls will draw little stars, and they come up to you and they give them to you. And they're just the most loving children sitting there playing on dirt floors, sleeping on things that you and I wouldn't sleep on, and washing their clothes by hand. It's just, I sat there and I look at this, and they're just so gracious to me. And I just think to myself, how can I not help? How can I not help?
Yeah.
And that's where I am. And I have since opened it up to some people. And, you know, we're not asking for huge, gigantic donations. But so far, we have Willie Nelson, the entertainer, has supported our project and has donated. Owen Wilson, the actor, has supported our project and donated. Don Nelson, the retired NBA Hall of Fame coach, has supported our project and donated. And lastly, Lucas Nelson, Willie's son, who is also an entertainer, has supported our project, and he's also donated. And these people are not easy sells. Yeah. And they, too, believe in the project, and we're moving forward. And neither Jennifer and I are going to stop until we get this project completed.
Wow. You know, Jennifer, can I ask you the same question, too? Because, you know, this has been looking at things that have pleasantly surprised you and maybe not so much, but all along the way, what have you learned about yourself, your own journey? What have you learned here that has also energized you even more than you were in talking about quantum touch?
Well, the one thing I learned about myself is really, you know, what it really means, again, to take a leap of faith, because I felt like this project was a leap of faith because we didn't know if we would be able to find the family when Mac went back down there. And we've totally created a new product on our store. And that to me is a leap of faith sometimes, to launch something new. This is the biggest thing I've ever tried to raise funds for, which to me is, you know, we really want to make this happen. And you know, I tend to be kind of shy, even though I'm on radio. I tend to be a bit shy and a bit scared sometimes to talk about it, and a bit scared sometimes to talk about things. And so for me, it just, to put this out there that we're doing this huge project, there was a little bit of fear involved, because to me it really felt like a leap of faith. And you know, it's the biggest thing I've ever done. To put something out there like this is the biggest fundraiser I've ever done. It goes beyond, you know, giving $100 to a homeless person. And so I just learned, like, can we really believing in ourselves
Yeah.
and believing in what we're doing? And because there's been naysayers, there's always naysayers, right? Like there's always
Totally.
people that say, "Oh, well, I've had naysayers," and so to stand strong in the midst of people who say, "Well, why don't you help other people?" Or, I've people raise issues, and just believing in what you're doing
It's
was my
really
lesson.
important, isn't it? I love the whole leap of faith. I want to ask you if you've gotten feedback from the family, if we could take a minute, because we rarely talk about the folks on the receiving side and what their process is, because it is a leap of faith for them as well. I mean, it's a leap of faith about, well, wait a minute, or abilities, or am I going to be able to make jewelry, or A, B, C, D, and all of the above. I would love to hear from each of you. What have you heard back from the family? Where are they today in the process?
I'll let Mac start.
Mac, go for it.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. When this family, I'd gone to their house in the evening, and they actually sit and they make this jewelry with one LED light. There's only 3 small little lights in the whole house, and most of those are up in the ceiling, and they're just small, almost like motion lights. But they operate off of one LED light, and then they have a fan, but it's one of those stand-up fans, but the neck has broken off, so the fan is laying off to the side, and it has no cover on it, so they sit in the heat with this broken fan and operate off of one LED light. Now, as a result of Jennifer doing this jewelry project with them, they have recently sent me pictures to where they had no refrigerator. They were actually able to buy a small refrigerator, and they were actually to buy a small washing machine. So instead of now doing, as in the past, all of their clothes by hand, they actually now have a wash machine that they can actually wash the clothes from. Now, they get their water from a sump pump system. It's not the most sanitary, but at least they're able to wash clothes. And they are absolutely thrilled to death that they now have a refrigerator and this little portable wash machine.
Wow.
Yeah, and also they bought their kids bicycles too, right?
And they bought their kids bicycles. And what is so neat is they send us videos of the kids riding the bicycles. And the kids will stop and they'll say, "Muchas gracias, Mac." I mean, it is just so darling. These kids had no bikes before. They had no toys. They had nothing. Nothing. And so just that feedback alone. But what Jennifer and I mean, our long-term goal is not only to get the family secure, but we would love to see these 2 girls go to college. We would love to see Emily's medical conditions improve. I mean, this poor little girl can't ride in an air-conditioned car. She could not get on an airplane because she cannot fly in an airplane that has air conditioning. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've got to ask you, this is an enormous impact on their lives, but more importantly, I can't help but think how this has fueled their hope for a future that literally didn't exist. Do you see what I mean?
Well, yes, but we also need to understand they have no idea what Jennifer and I are currently doing.
That's right.
They have no idea that we're trying to raise money to get them a car and to build them a house. And our intent is not to tell them that until we have it all secured. So they're thrilled right now with the bicycles and the little wash machine and this little bitty refrigerator, which they think that they're just in heaven now. And it's so cute to see this refrigerator sitting on a dirt or partially dirt and concrete floor. And they're just so thankful to it. But Jennifer and I want to take this family. We can't help the whole world, but we want to make a difference in this family's life, a huge lifelong impact on this family's life. And that's what our goal is. And to be honest with you, that's what we're going to do.
Wow. I love, Jennifer, that you talked about what it was like for you to literally step out on a fundraising initiative like this, probably the biggest you've ever done. And I want to make sure that we're telling the world about how everyone here today can get engaged, get involved, and help. So would you please, again, mention the website and let folks know how they can help, where they can find out more. And then I've got another question for you as well.
Okay. So on quantumtouch.com, we're selling the pendants that this family made by hand. If you go to quantumtouch.com and click on shop, you'll see that there's a whole section called Costa Rica pendants. And if you order them, it helps the family. The other thing is the GoFundMe campaign, which is on this show page. And if you link to that, you can donate. We're trying to raise $30,000. And we would love any donations and any amounts. Fantastic. So, yeah, that's the two areas you can help.
Mm-hmm. Does this energize you, Jennifer, in other areas of your life? Because I know for me, the latest comment made to me here recently by two of the team is, man, Pat, like, dude, your mind doesn't stop. You are always going. And I don't really see myself. I mean, it's like my brain does not hurt from creating and getting ideas on how to really do what we're doing differently, bigger, more efficiently. We're going through an entire technology shift, which is amazing. But my brain doesn't hurt. But obviously, I think it must hurt other people. Does this energize you with more ideas? Or is this more about, let us put our focus here for now? Let us get this going.
Well, one of the things that I was intending for this project is that this family could potentially make more jewelry. Like, let's say we sell out of this product, we could do another run of it, and that would be really awesome, because then this family has a steady stream of income. And I think one of the things that really I like to focus on is that, let's say we're having a kind of a not so great day, and we're feeling a little down. I think that focusing on things that help others is one of the easiest, fastest, and best ways to get out of ourselves and to get into a happier mood, because when you help others, it just feels so good. And I can't wait to see the day that we go down there and we have the funding, and we tell this family, like, look, we're going to build you a house. I mean, that energy is incredible. I think that really makes my day when we can help other people. It just feeling that level of gratitude and just knowing that you actually did something to make a difference. It can shift a negative mood right away.
Wow. Oh, I'll tell you, boy, I am so about that. I think one of the things that I learn about myself, as you've talked about before, is, parts of my humanity. I still have bad hair days. And to be able to shift the energy of things is significant. Mac, I got a question for you. Are you finding it as contagious, is the word I'm looking for, as you shared this? Are you really excited to share it more and more with more and more people? And in fact,
Absolutely. Jennifer and I are opposites in a lot of areas, but once we got into this, Jennifer has really sparked my passion, and I'm the follow through guy. I'm the guy that I can dot the I's and cross the T's and get it all done right. And I'll be honest, this is the first time that I've ever done anything on this scale, but I am so excited about it, and it's going to get done. I don't know how, but it's going to get done. And then after this one, who knows what comes next? Mm-hmm. But it is such a great feeling, and it's something that I know that we can get done. And if you saw this family and you just felt their hearts, you just can't not do this. You just can't not do it.
One of the things, too, that I think I'm really struck by is looking at what the call to action is, looking at the energy. And I want to talk with you, Jennifer, a little bit about this, because, I don't want to step too far away from the notion of quantum touch and healing. See, one of the things I really love about this is really a healing action, right? There may be aspects where each of you is going through that process, the people you talk to, clearly the family, and, healing something inside of someone so that strength can be built for a future. I would love to hear your thoughts about what you're experiencing intuitively, energetically, about the strength building that's happening for the family, Jennifer.
Well, I feel like, first of all, there's something about the family and gratitude that I'm learning from. So this family has nothing. And whenever when Mac was down there, and they're just so grateful for what they do have. They're really grateful for their refrigerator, and they're really grateful for their washing machine, and they're tapped into this level of gratitude, and their gratitude inspired me. I said, wow, they're so grateful. Let's help. Let's make a difference. And I realized that there's an amazing power with gratitude. Mm-hmm. If all of us can find a way, and I know it's hard sometimes, can find a way to step into a space of gratitude, it's really powerful. Yeah, and that family was a reminder to me about, look, like I have to admit, some days I have days where I have a hard time stepping into gratitude, yet I have everything in the world. I mean, I have running water. I have everything I could ever want in my house. Mm-hmm. And, I'm certainly not on dirt floors or anything like that. I have a beautiful place that I live. And so if this family can be grateful for just these small things, can I be grateful for like all this stuff that I have? Yeah. At all times. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really powerful lesson, and gratitude attracts more to be grateful for. And this is what this family is teaching us, is that their gratitude is going to attract more for them to be grateful for. Mm-hmm. I believe.
I think gratitude is powerful beyond anything that we can comprehend. I think the energy of gratitude, and it's a journey. I'd like to hear, Mac, how about you?
One of the first things I saw this family do was all they have is a little motorcycle, and it was raining cats and dogs. And one of the first things that I saw this family do is get on this motorcycle in these muddy, terrible road conditions, and they're waving goodbye to me as they're getting ready to drive off, and all four of them have the biggest smiles in their face. Now, I'm a motorcycle guy, and I hate riding in the rain.
I know.
And these people were just, they were just happy. They are living their life with nothing, eating beans, eating rice. And Warner told me one time, the father told me one time, he said, it's the hardest thing for me to explain to my kids when all there is beans for them to eat for dinner tonight. Mm-hmm. And sometimes Bridget would go stand their little booth, and she may only make $10 in a day, or she may make $10 in 3 days. And that's what they have to eat off of and to pay their bills. And like Jennifer, I saw this, and then you think about what you had, you know, we're sitting here doing this show, drinking a cup of coffee, and they're down there worrying about where their next meal is going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so empowering to me. And in all honesty, a lot of influence from Jennifer, because our backgrounds are so different. Of all things, I'm a retired police officer. I was a helicopter guy.
Uh-huh.
And our backgrounds are so different. And over the last 6 years of Jennifer and I talking, Jennifer has opened my eyes to a lot in this universe. And I'm very thankful of that. And it's just the way that this happened down in Costa Rica. It was just meant to be. Has it changed my life? You bet. I haven't regretted once going down there and dealing with the heat and the bumpy roads and all that, because it's such a joy to see these people and to see this project come to a head. And so whatever it takes, because when I get on that plane to come home, I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to thank you both for coming on here and sharing what you did. And I want to make sure, Jennifer, from your perspective, please let us know again the websites. And then I'd like to ask each of you, in the minutes we have left, for your personal message. You know, what would you like to share? So please, again, direct us to the websites and any other place we should be going.
Okay. So, again, you can purchase the pendants at quantumtouch.com, Quantum Touch site. And there's a little button at the top that says shop. That's our store. And we have, it's called the Costa Rica Pendant Special Project Limited Edition. And your proceeds go to help this family. Also, the GoFundMe page, which is a link on this show page. There's a GoFundMe campaign, and this is really, we're wanting to raise $30,000 to get this family a house and a car. And we're bound and determined to do this because I just feel it. I just feel like in my heart, this is what we need to do. And yeah, so that's how you can help.
Awesome. Wow. Mac, how about you?
You know, I would just ask people to open their hearts. You know, we're having people open their hearts. People believe in this project. And I would just ask people to open your hearts. We're not asking you that you don't have to give large sums of money. Anything will work. And anything you give will be appreciated. And I guess I'd like to leave with, you know, there's a lot of turmoil in our world out there today. So I'd like to ask people every single day to do some type of act of kindness. Men, if that means what I call the 20-foot rule, if you see a woman walking within 20 foot of the door, open the door for her. If you see somebody trying to get in traffic, let's let people in. Let's be kind to one another.
Wow. Again, I want to thank you both. I also want to make sure one more time, where do I go to contribute and donate? And where do I go to get some jewelry for folks?
Yeah, so go to quantumtouch.com and then click on the shop to go to our shop page. And you'll see the Costa Rica pendants there. And the GoFundMe page, the link is on the show page. But I'm also going to put the link in our store so that you can also donate. And you can either just purchase the jewelry and that helps the family, or you can donate to our GoFundMe and help us build a house.
Wow. And can I ask you to please keep us updated and informed? What's going to be the best way for us to do that?
We're going to do another show, I think. Yeah. So we'll keep updated as we go on, and I'll email you guys updates too.
Would it be great to have the family come on?
Yes. And that's one of the interesting things. And God bless Mac. We don't speak Spanish, and they only speak Spanish. So he went down there and dealing with the language barrier as well. Like just
Exactly.
trying to get everything,
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand everything in Spanish.
Well, I got to tell you, don't worry so much about that. I will just go get my niece, who was the head of the Latino club in NYU. And so we'll make sure we get plenty of translations to make that happen. Thank you both so much, and many blessings to you. Mac, amazing. And for the family, all of us here are all in for them. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Everybody, another hour coming up on Transformation Talk Radio, and here we go.
You've been listening to Quantum Touch Radio, supercharging your life with Jennifer Noel Taylor. Tune in on TransformationTalkRadio.com as you take a quantum journey and tap into universal healing quantum touch principles to create an amazing supercharged life. For more information about Jennifer, visit JenniferNoelTaylor.com. And remember, accelerate, revitalize, and engage in your supercharged life.